If January felt like a time of backroom dealings and subtle shifts, February 2026 is here to kick the door down. We're moving from quiet backdoor energy into a period that is very loud. The secrets and whispers of the past month are about to become public knowledge, and like there's not going to be any more closed doors. And that's not to say that January wasn't loud, but with regards to so many other things that were going on. Like, for example, I was just reading about the Epstein files documents that were released, and there's new names that have come out, and a lot of other revelations. I'll just say that much regarding that. Right now, we're still. So yesterday there was a full moon in Leo, and there's a pileup of planets in Aquarius. So, at that full moon, and then like the hours after that full moon, the moon was interacting with different planets. For example, with Venus, when the moon opposes Venus, it brought some of our desire natures up to confront, and that's especially important because Venus is about to enter its phasis phase, where we could previously ignore the disruptive and inconvenient, but now we have to recognize it with regards to like the Venusian Eros and integrate it. And then, so tomorrow, February 3rd, Uranus stations direct in Taurus. And this is the last time it's stationing direct in this sign of Taurus. This is one final run of Uranus through Taurus, and think about how much your life has changed since 2018. This is going to be a very Uranian month because first off, like whenever we have Uranus stations, or any planet stations direct, that the energies of that planet is intensified because it's kind of it's still, and it's interesting because this month we have that solar eclipse at 27 Aquarius on February 17th, and that's going to be a crazy one, especially for like it's right on the USA Sibley moon. And if you look at the actual eclipse, it's all in kind of the first. If you use DC, Washington DC as the place, all of those there's a huge pileup of planets and energies in the first house. But then the thing is, Uranus at least halfway rules this eclipse, and it's square the sun and moon. So it's a solar eclipse, meaning it's a new moon in Aquarius, and it's being squared by Uranus. So there's a lot of disruptions coming with regards to that. But and then February 5th is when Mercury at 27 Aquarius squares Uranus and Taurus. This square has been building since that full moon we just had on February 1st, and it represents a sudden, shocking, and unexpected, and sometimes unwelcome flash of insight, the quick inversion of meaning as we knew it, changing into something completely different. So that's something to keep in mind. And then the next day, Mercury moves into Pisces, which it will be there for a while because it's going to retrograde later on. But that being said, Neptune is now in Aries, and it's not going to be going back to Pisces. It's interesting. It's a great time for a new start. It's a great time to, if you need that in your life, like a new vision for yourself. And Saturn is going to be coming into the sign on February 14th, and then they're both going to conjoin on February 20th, which is kind of going to usher in this new beginning for the world, whatever that means. So that solar eclipse is on the 17th of February, and that squares Uranus, and eclipses usually show us people falling from their height, and because this magnifies the Saturn Neptune energy, structures that seemed solid may dissolve or shatter suddenly. And we've been seeing a lot of that rot, like that breakdown of institutions that we used to believe in, and that is basically the balsamic phase of this Saturn Neptune, because Saturn Neptune, they conjoin every like 36 or 37 years. Last one was in Capricorn in 1989, and now we're approaching the end of that now, because the new cycle begins on February 20th. So so keep that in mind, and then with the end of this month, Mercury will retrograde in on February 26th, and then the next day, February 27th, that retrograde Mercury conjoins Venus. So there's going to be a lot of reviewing of the stuff that's coming up, but so keep that in mind also. The disruptions, welcome them, and I will say that there is some good stuff this month as well, because Venus in Pisces is exalted, and it's going to form a trine with Jupiter in Cancer, which is also exalted. So the two benefics are exalted. So while the world might feel like it's shaking, there is a weird side order of delicacy level benefics available to you. This is craziness with a side order of high-end benefits off to the side. So look for the silver lining. While the outer structures are being blasted, the inner emotional and spiritual support is stronger than ever. So I think right now is an important time to keep that in mind, with all the craziness that's already going on with like Minneapolis and our rights being taken away. February 2026 is not for the faint of heart. It is a time of shaking things up, and the energy gets louder. However, if you can navigate the disruption of the eclipse and the Saturn-Neptune conjunction, there are exquisite gifts to be found through the Venus-Jupiter trine. So stay grounded, expect the unexpected, and look for the hidden blessings in the storm. And feel free to comment below on how this is playing out for you and what you're expecting. Thank you for watching.